Hi everybody, and welcome to today's video. Today I will be sharing with you some art journaling. I've really taken to art journaling in the last few months. It's so great. There are no rules, there's no judgment, it's just get whatever you want onto a page, and I really wanted to take the opportunity to share that with you today. So I'll be using a traveler's notebook insert that I made using mixed media paper. Very simple, just covered it with scrapbook paper. I can do that in another tutorial for you. Then I will be using the Tim Holtz Distress Ink line by Ranger. I'll be using gathered twigs, mustard seed, and old paper. Then I'll be using this new product I picked up called Distress Mica Spray in Antiqued Bronze. I will be using these doilies that I got from Joann's in the $1.99 bin section. I will also be using the Tim Holtz Ideology Chit Chat words to create a quote on my spread. In order to waterproof and seal, I'll be using this Mod Podge. I wasn't paying attention when I bought it, so we'll see how this guy works. As far as I'm concerned, glue is glue, so we'll see. I'll be using 2 die cuts today. This one is from the Tim Holtz Paper Dolls collection. And then my second die cut is a butterfly from the Tim Holtz Botanical, there you go, Ideology Botanical collection. And then some of my supplies, we have the Ranger Mini Ink Foam and Blender. I'll also be using the mini stapler. As you can tell, I have a small obsession with the Tim Holtz Ranger products, but hopefully you'll see why shortly. So I hope you follow along with me, and any questions or comments, just let me know below. Okay, so first thing I'll be doing is I'll be spraying my doily in this Distress Mica spray. I'm using an old grungy cutting mat, which is why it looks the way it does. I'm not going to use my nice one on this. I'm just going to... Perfect. So we're just going to let that dry off to the side. Okay, so first off, I'll be taking the Distress ink in the old paper, and that'll be the first color I use. I'm pretty much just going to be layering colors on. Now what's nice about this ink is that it's going to sit on the page. It's not going to dry right away. So that's what gives you the opportunity to finish blending it all in at the end there. Now I'm going to take the mustard seed color. Now I don't want to saturate the yellow too much. So I'm going to be taking an extra sheet of paper and just dabbing it before I stick it on there. Should have dabbed it a bit more, but that's okay. Okay, now when it comes to blending these inks, I always like to go back to the first color just so that there's more of a natural blend where the colors come together. Okay, so now I'll be using the gathered twigs to create a little boundary around my page. Okay, so as you can see, you can tell where I put the dabber down. The way you fix that is you just go in with more pigment and you blend. Okay, and then just like before, I'm gonna go back in with the mustard seed and just blend where it merges. So you're also going to want to be careful where you touch on the page. The ink is wet. You can see my fingerprints. So I'm just going to grab my green again and get rid of that. Okay, so that's my background. Ready to go. My mica spray doily looks to be dry, so I want to place it at the bottom of the page, so I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just cut it off. So now I'll be using my mini stapler to attach this to the page. Just gives it that extra added visual. Oh, I stapled more on there than I should have. Oh well, extra effect. That's the joy of a journal like this. Even if it's not something you necessarily intended, it's still adds an extra layer or dimension. Okay. So then next up, we're gonna take the paper doll and I'm just gonna squidge some glue on her. The glue I'm using is just a Scotch brand tacky glue. I use this for everything. I love it. Okay, stick her down there. Okay, so I'm gonna use a bit of Mod Podge just to seal her in there so that she doesn't lift up later. Then, while that's wet, I'm gonna grab the butterfly. I'm gonna stick that over there. And I'm just gonna Mod Podge the butterfly. This I'm gonna leave because it's fun. Okay. Okay, now for my wording. For my wording, I've chosen, I guess I kind of made up a quote. So bear with me while I get my stickers. Okay, so I'm just gonna Mod Podge this guy down here, make sure it sticks. Okay. Now, I feel like there may be still a couple of things missing. So I'm just gonna rifle through my botanicals. Maybe just... So looking at my layout, I've decided I want a little bit more. So I'm gonna grab this stencil from Dylusions. Again, it's a Ranger product. And I'm also gonna grab this Distressed Ink H Mahogany. Now, when you're switching between your stamp pads, you wanna make sure you're using a clean sponge every time. Okay, so let's give this a try and see. And there you are. There is an art journal page. So the other thing I wanted to do was I'm going in here and I'm just bringing in this color. As you can see, it's still got that shiny tint that I like, but it's now more cohesive with the overall background. And I'm not concerned about this. Essentially, one day I'll be removing this out of its booklet and maybe framing, maybe replacing them in another book. But there you have it. That's the essentials of art journaling. We pretty much just throw stuff on a page and see what happens. Thank you for following along, and if you'd like to check out more, you can check my blog, mydarbymilllife.com, or you can check my Instagram, where my handle is @mydarbymilllife. Thank you very much.